The number one question we always get asked:
how much does an EPOS system cost?
And the honest answer is, it depends, but not in the way that you might think. Because the word EPOS now covers everything from a £29 tablet app all the way up to a system that runs your entire business. Same name, but actually completely different products.
Let's break it down. With actual prices, no fluff.
Every EPOS system in the UK falls into one of three classes. Let's start at the entry level, class 3.
These are generally your tablet-based systems or potentially software running on a small Android terminal, and they're usually sold by payment companies. Arrives in a box, you upload your own products, and then you're up and running.
In terms of cost, hardware is sometimes free if it's subsidised through a payment contract. If you're buying outright, you're looking at roughly £250 to £600 for a device. Software is typically £20 to £60 a month per device, and support is mostly self-service, online FAQs, maybe a call centre.
Now, for a single site cafe or a small shop that just needs to take money and print a receipt, this can be absolutely fine, and we'll happily tell you that.
But you need to understand what you're getting. A class 3 system is basically a modern till or cash register. It records what you sold, it does not help you sell more necessarily, and it doesn't manage your stock, it doesn't give you reporting that you can actually make serious decisions from, and it doesn't adapt to how your business works. You have to adapt to it.
And the thing to watch, a lot of these systems are subsidised because the real money is made on the payment processing contract that sits underneath. The hardware looks cheap, but you might end up paying a higher card transaction rate on every single transaction you take for the next 3 years. You just need to understand that before you sign.
Now, class 2, this is where things get properly interesting.
And we say this as people who actually run pubs and restaurants. This is the level where the technology stops recording what's happened and genuinely starts improving how you run your business.
So we're talking proper stock management right down to ingredient level, intelligent reporting that actually helps you make decisions, online ordering, kitchen display screens, customer self-service, loyalty which will bring in more customers, multi-site control, potentially even your own branded app.
But the real important difference, and this is the bit that most people miss, is that class 2 systems get configured around actually how you run your business, your service flow, your menu structure, your team's workflow, and your patterns, not a generic set of defaults that someone in the product team decided should be standard out the box.
So let's talk money, starting with hardware. A proper commercial terminal, normally Windows 11, IP65 rated, which means it's sealed against liquid and dust. You can literally throw a pint at this thing. Starts at about £695 and it's built to last you at least 5 years.
Then you've got receipt printers, starting at £150 to £165. And these are normally front feeding, good for spillage, modular, designed for hospitality, and if one goes down, you can swap it out in seconds, not hours. And of course, you might want one for the bar or the kitchen. And in the kitchen, some people prefer, obviously, traditional dot matrix or a screen, but both options should be there.
So software and support, £59 a month for your first terminal. That includes your core EPOS, back office, reporting platform, and real human support from people who actually know your system and your sector. Every additional terminal after that's probably around £29 a month.
Then you've got the exciting stuff, the additional modules. These are normally £25 to £49 a month, depending on what they are, but include things like handheld ordering devices for your staff, online ordering, kitchen display screens, digital menus, fully custom ordering apps like we talked about, and self-service kiosks.
And finally, setup and training. This is the bit that people really underestimate. It's the time we spend getting the system configured exactly how you want it and getting your team properly trained so they're confident from day one. For a typical site, that starts at between £395 to £495. Bigger or more complex setups, it could be a bit more, but we'll always scope that out and let you know up front.
Now, yes, it's obviously more than class 3, but you need to understand you're not buying the same thing. With class 3, you're buying a till, and with class 2, you're buying operational control. And operational control has a direct, measurable impact on your margin every single week.
And one more thing, a proper class 2 system keeps trading even if your internet drops out. A lot of the lower cost cloud-based systems go completely dead when the Wi-Fi wobbles. When does the Wi-Fi wobble? Saturday night, right when you have a full restaurant.
And just for completeness, so we explain the whole thing, class 1 is enterprise. So think Wetherspoons, Tesco's, that kind of scale. Normally got custom software, dedicated in-house IT departments, and hardware's probably north of £2,000, and support costs, you're running into thousands. So if you're watching this video, that's probably not for you. But a quick word on the stuff that doesn't show up on the quote, but does absolutely affect what you end up paying.
Configuration. A cheap system gives you a standard setup and basically says, good luck. A proper system asks how your business actually works. The system is built around that. That's why the same software can feel brilliant in one restaurant, but could be completely useless in another.
Training. I cannot stress this enough. A system your team hasn't been properly trained on is a system they'll fight against from day one. Slower service, more mistakes, less upselling, and you end up paying for technology that no one's properly using.
And support. Everyone says theirs is brilliant. The real test is what happens at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night when your terminal goes down mid-service. An hour of downtime on a busy night isn't an inconvenience. For a venue doing $3,000 on a Friday night, that's a real serious problem.
And if they pick up the phone, do they know what they're talking about? And one more thing, you do not have to tie your EPOS to your card payment processing. Some providers, as we've mentioned, give you cheap hardware and recover it through higher card rates over a long-term contract. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that model, but we encourage you to understand it before you commit.
Yeah, you need to look out for that. Our advice is simple. Choose your software for what it does for your business. Choose your payments separately, based on rate and service. They don't have to come from the same company. And in a lot of cases, keeping them separate gives you potentially better value.
Absolutely. So look, the real question isn't how much does EPOS cost?
No, the real question is what is not having the right system actually costing your business every single week?
Over-ordering stock because you can't see what you've got, underpricing dishes because you don't know what your true cost of goods are, and crucially nowadays, overstaffing quiet shifts because you're going on gut feel instead of real tangible data.
Missing upsell opportunities because the system doesn't prompt and the team isn't trained properly, not knowing your real margin until your accountant tells you 3 weeks after the damage is already done.
Technology shouldn't be a cost. It should be an investment that gives you back more than it takes every month.
Look, if a Class 3 system does actually do everything you need, we will be the first to tell you, keep it.
But if you want a system built around your operation, supported by people who've actually done the job and continue to do so, and designed to help run a more profitable business, then let's have a chat.
We have created a simple cost calculator on our website where you can actually enter what you think you need and it will give you an immediate idea of what it will cost. Or alternatively, book a free system review with us and we'll look at what you've got, tell you where it sits in the market and be completely honest about whether it's the right system for you.
No pressure, no hard sell, just straight answers.
From two people who have been doing this for a very long time.
And who still love it and are absolutely passionate about hospitality.